Guess who's back? Back again. Juljas back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Conquest back. Eat a snack. Stack some racks. Wear a shirt from cap. Do do do. I'm back. I am back. Back to bring you awful advice. I mean, brilliant advice about Conquest. I'm gonna try to make good advice, don't worry. And yeah, let's look at the Conquest tips and how to win every single game in Great Conqueror Rome. Now, before you even choose your nation or your conquest, first of all, you look how good is your skill. So you look at the Senate and you see, I don't know, I have like 5, 5, 5, 4. So my skills of the units are already pretty okay. Nothing too great yet. Generals, pretty good, let's be honest, but not full team did or anything. So just be aware of your capability. So Augustus' time playing with like a Sugambri is not the best idea because you got crushed. But if you're like my strengths, you probably play Caesar time, or Augustus time is a 3-star or 2-star country, but maybe don't always the hardest thing. So just be aware of what you have. If you start the game fresh, I can always advise you Carthage, I can advise you Rome. Illyria is a little hard already. Macedonia is pretty easy. Massili is probably easy, just don't do anything and you win. Step 2, if you're not sure which nations, you can either watch my top 10 nations for Punic Wars. I haven't done yet anyone for Caesar and Augustus, but you can watch that, or you can go on the EasyTech forum and look around there because a lot of people make good guides and generally it's a good place to go if you have questions about the game. So if you go into a conquest, like I said, I'll take the Helvetii this time. First thing you should always look at is the research, national research. Do you have Imperial Guard? It's such a valuable research. After that, next important one, which I can't even unlock this time. Let's look at another conquest where you can. I think Rome always can do it. So again, national research, and look if you have governor, because governor unlocks forced march, very, very valuable trait. So I always use forced march, arson and destroy. These are the 3 things I always use because they're very useful. Orientation can make sense for the right general, but most of these 3 will be the things to use. Because here you can damage strong generals in campaigns or conquests. Destroy, you can blast a city, and force march you can attack twice. All very useful, or move faster. All very useful things. One sad thing which I noticed is you shouldn't really use generals, which is, I don't understand how EasyTech could producing generals so hard. But if you put generals on units, it's really hard for you to get a 3-star or the highest ranking. It's so hard. I don't know why they did that. I would just advise you to try to do it without, for example, Carthage is pretty possible without generals, at least in the beginning. Later, I guess it's going to be pretty hard for you to get the 3-star, like the top, get a free rank for these conquests to get those wonderful flags. It's going to be hard, I can tell you that. But if you now want to use generals and just want to have fun the conquest, not only just get rewards, use your generals and look which units make the most sense. So for example, use a heavy cavalry, already a bit of experience, my best cavalry, I put Armenians there. Archer already has some skills, but it's only a marksman, I think pretty high, if I remember correctly. Can I build any more units? Nope. Okay, I think marksman's already pretty high. Best archery, so my guy is an archer. Put them there. Just look what your best units are, put them on there. So now when you start this conquest, little issues nowadays, the fog of war. And yeah, who your enemies even are. So usually just zoom out, look a bit where your enemies. Oh, I'm kind of surrounded as the Helvetii. This could be a good enemy. Rome will obviously be your first main task, so I probably either try to go defensive because Rome's gonna hit you hard, or go for Genoa because I think there's here some good gems. Let's quickly. I mean, I'm not sure I want to lose my gen. Let's put them here. Okay, they're not there. Maybe they're here. Where are they? Well, I just remember that Caesar is somewhere around here and he's gonna probably be some big issue for you. So like I said, I'd go for Genoa, then try to go around for Milandium. These names are horrible. So let's research something. Upgrade my city so I could possibly build some better units. So here we already ran to our first enemies. These things can make sense, can make a lot of sense to get in the right nation. So if you look around, you see who is your allies. These guys are getting attacked by Rome. Okay, so here are a lot of their generals. Whom do I want out? So for example, if I now place the Helvetii, I probably don't want to get attacked in the rear, so I'd pay attention to pay these guys out for one turn. So they have this wonderful flag. Sounded the names don't really tell me a lot. Don't really mean a lot. So Dear Treveri, these guys I pay out. I'm not going to do it now because they're going to join super late. What also can make sense is try to look at Massalia when they join, because they could be annoying enemies. So join 2 turns, I'll pay them. So they're going to join 4 turns. So it'll make it a lot more possible to actually do damage. These are important steps. Other important steps are if you're in the range, use your blast, because like I said, blast is very important. And arson doesn't make sense right now. So here I now upgrade the city. What I always do when I upgrade a city is build a military camp, which is important to then build good archers or good cavalry, because you only can build infantry. Okay, so the next step is you try to encircle cities, which I can't do, or units. So you see this archer, for example. If I put this archer here, he is encircled. So there's one guy in front and behind. You can either encircle by putting a unit around. So for example, this archer around. This archer can be encircled if you put a unit around this in every single square. Then it has double the debuff. If it's like stuck in between a line, so this guy, then he comes, and then he comes, then it loses morale. That's useful if you want to get the unit to have less attack or defense. Please, like, okay, this guy got doubled. It's really good. Look now, if he would have been still attack boosted, for example, now his morale lowered, he could have done more damage. Now he can't. So gain was already mine. Like I said, I had planned to go for Megolanium. So another thing which I noticed is if there is, can you please not block my way? So if there is a unit in a city, which I can't show you right now, probably one will join in a second over there. If a unit is in the city, you can move away 2 tiles and the unit will usually just leave the city, which is very, very useful. So don't forget to upgrade your military camps. And look that all cities are defended. That's also a big point. Just don't look, you just lose a random city anywhere. For example, here now Lungudun joined, so they will attack my cities here. Well, thank you AI for not trying to be helpful. Oh my god, I just saw boy entered. So the AI didn't build a general here, so I'm just gonna go for it then. I mean, if I have to take the city, might as well do it. But I can't reach this. I can't reach it. Okay. Please tell me we can go doubled. Can't. Okay, so I couldn't get the Tudium. Yeah, I'm sorry. These names are just they're not doing it for me. So here, not already pretty good upgraded. Let's say I'm on stables because I have now a stable general. Yep, that was bad. I should probably stop right here. I'm not gonna. Okay, now a general joined in that city. Thank you for finally joining, putting a unit there to showcase my point. So what you do now is you send this guy away. Send all units away from the capital which they have there. So I'll send this guy like over here. You can stay there. You can shoot like a bit at the defense of the city. You attack here. You can defend over here. And then he will leave this city to attack you. Or he won't because he's scared. Let's try this again when I move 2 tiles away. I thought 1 tile does it, but I guess 2 tiles is necessary. Well, let's see in a sec. So this guy's 2 tiles away, this guy's 2 tiles away, this guy's 2 tiles away. Let's look if he'll leave now. Let's quickly still look. Let's don't lose this city here. Upgrade this guy, defend the wall, defend the gates. Look to get some more gold in your national technology. So always go for the Imperial Guard and the one where you can unlock yourself the forced march. If you can't do that, go for gold and go for research points. After that, you go for these things. Okay, let's look if this guy moves now from Melodanium, or whatever that place is called. Did he actually not move? Why is he not moving? Okay, sometimes the weird thing is a bit weird that these guys don't move away. So if they somehow don't move away, just burn them. burned to the ground. Mostly if you put units away, they'll move by themselves. I somehow write contract now because it's typical. It happens always when you try to showcase something and it doesn't work. Which is brilliant game, thank you. So yeah, next thing is rush cities. So if I would have rushed the city a bit more, I could have just taken it before Melodanium. But yeah, just go for cities. Don't really try to fight units a lot. So I would now go out here and fight all these guys in epic battles. I would just run around them. Go for the cities. Oh, I didn't want to attack there. Sorry, General. So yeah, you go instantly for cities because that's how you can kill off whole unit, just armies of the enemy when their own city fulls. Their only cities full because, well, they just die and you get a higher income source. So fighting epic battles, while it may be cool, is not gonna help you a lot in the grand scheme of things. Another tip when I say rush cities is also have a bit of look which city could be especially useful. So for example, Rome is always a good city because they give a high income and you can already build good units there. Or just cities which potentially can upgrade the most. So capitals of enemies are always good. And don't go for, and I went for Genoa because it was pretty handy and it was easy to get. But if you can, go for better cities. Another thing is the units you should build, and that is, if you want to defend, always build the weakest infantry or the second weakest, depending on how much armies are around that. If you're attacking, I usually find just the strongest, most high-level unit is probably the best. I mean, they're probably against them, which have a bit of its advantages in comparison to the other ones. I don't yet really notice that too much. So just go for the best. Now please tell me you moved away. Did he move away? No. Okay, somehow this guy is hard programmed to not leave the city. But at least I can go for Ravenna when those guys are all when these guys are all distracted. No, I got distracted and lost Genoa. Let's not talk about that. So here, Massalia. How about if I would have had a blast, I would have attacked it now to take it. Yeah. I kind of lost my train of thoughts. I'm sorry. Let's quickly repeat. Go for the best cities, build the right units, just go for the highest one which you can because mostly it's just a bit stronger. And I have this wonderful equation from infantry is good at attacking archers, archers are good at attacking cavalry, cavalry is good at attacking infantry. But overall, I find that if you want to play the game fast, Conquest, if you want to take out maps fast, the fastest units make the most sense, so I go for cavalry because they're the fastest. So I prefer a bit of cavalry, but it depends on your playstyle. So if you're a very defensive player, I could imagine that the infantry is very good because they're good defensively. If you're like the sneaky player who wants to take out whole unit groups without really taking any damage, archers. If you want to rush cities, cavalry. Yeah, I hope this little tips thing helps you become better in the Conquest, and that's it for now. Have a nice one, bye.